All right. Thank you guys for joining. It is Sunday, March 15th. I know obviously there's a whole lot of craziness that's going on right now. So we've only got Tyron and Dawn on here tonight, but it's sometimes it's nice like that. It makes it very personal, even though we're so far away from each other. And just like the girls and I were just kind of chatting a little bit before we started the recording about what's going on everywhere. I mean, it's not just in our small town. Just last week we were dealing with tornadoes, and now we're dealing with all of this with the coronavirus and things like that. So our economy's being affected, families are being affected. I mean, just there's so much that's going on all over the place. So I'm sure you have already seen it in our 200K pages. I know, I believe it was Maria's page that I saw today. I'm not sure if Amy has shared in, and I'm still trying to catch up from traveling this weekend and everything. But we just want to be real respectful and careful, Dawn, just like you were just sharing with your friend that has her little, small appliance or electronics business, and the customer that I was just touching base with that has the small appliance business. There's a lot of it. Tyron and Tim, they have their own, lawn care business. So many people are being affected in a big way. And we definitely want to be promoting the fact that we do still have a business. But at the same time, again, and we always say this, if people aren't thriving for free, this is going to be one of the first things that may and can be cut out as far as expenses. So helping them to get their referrals so that they're thriving for free has always been kind of on the forefront for us. But now, obviously, even more than ever. But being mindful, again, let me get back to that. Being mindful what we're posting on social media. I think like Maria, I'm almost positive it was in Maria's page that she was posting. She was like, there are people that have jobs. So whenever we're like, and I'm like, I love the fact that I can work from anywhere, and I'm not like trying to be disrespectful or being blatant, or boastful or anything like that. But we do love our time freedom, and we do love the fact that we can travel and we can work from anywhere. But thinking about these people that are like we just said, they're talking about closing bars and restaurants and things, big convention centers, the Southern Women's Show was supposed to be here, the ACM, so many different things that have been closed or canceled. And we want to be mindful and respectful because, again, it is people's livelihood. How are they going to pay their bills? So just in what you do post, being careful of that. We've always known, not making medical claims, such as, maybe someone's like, oh, I've got arthritis, but now I can, my back doesn't hurt anymore. The arthritis in my shoulder, it's the discomfort. So it's the terms that are used. And I think I've seen a few posts, and I'm sure you've probably seen my post where like the Boost and the Blast and the Activate, not just our primary products, but a lot of the products that really do help with our immune support. So not using the word coronavirus or the fact that it's going to keep you from getting sick, because yes, I have been sick in 5 years, obviously, but I feel a whole lot more healthy than I've ever been. So, but just being respectful and sharing positivity out there. Again, I know so many of you, I know the girls here that I'm looking at, I know y'all are very mindful of stuff like that always. And you're always posting positivity and encouragement. But if you're watching this as a recording, just scroll through your Facebook, look and see what is there and what you're saying or how you're saying or what you're responding to. And, it's, some people get nasty, just like we've seen, and it's not just here. I mean, it's, again, the toilet paper thing,
Yes.
it is crazy. I've got a friend that's got a baby, and she's like, I can't even find baby wipes for my 10-month-old because people are hoarding baby wipes. I mean, it's like, I don't have to think about that because I don't have a baby. But when she said that, I was like, holy cow, so obviously we can get on tangents and we can get, right back at people, but sometimes it's just posting that positivity and that encouragement. And Dawn, I know that you and I talked the other day about, someone that had come across your path and being able to reach out her and love on her in an encouraging way, and
He hasn't got back to me.
yeah, well, and it just may not be, as we know, it may just not be a good time for her too, but we just never know why people come, right, into our path. And, maybe things that we've gone through in previous years, and I always call it in a previous life because it feels like a whole nother life, just like Tyra and I as single moms, we were single moms for a long time, and I can relate to that, so but it just we just, if something's on your heart to reach out and love on someone, reach out to them, again, because send them a card, send them a quick message on Facebook privately, or a text message, whatever form that you have, because again, as much as people are hurting and being affected in a negative way, sometimes it only takes that one positive, reinforcement and that one positive encouragement to make them go, I've been praying for a sign or somebody to say or somebody to do, and you just responded to the, you know what I mean? So you just never know. A few things that I did want to make sure that we were mindful of, because tonight is, and I think both of you are already registered for the Ultimate Thriver. Good. So tonight is customers, promoters. I don't know if you want to throw another post out on your Facebook page. If there's any last minute messages, I've been sending messages, all day today, like before I got on the flight this morning, and then I've responded to some and been sending out more since we landed. But they're just now responded. It's Sunday. People are busy, and again, people are kind of turned upside down right now. So that registration ends tonight. You have to have your picture uploaded by tonight. Go ahead and be working on your paragraph. They said it's like a 300-word maximum. If you haven't seen the details in there, it's just why are you wanting to do this transformation? Why do you think that you're going to be focused? It's just like our why for our business, right? It's going to keep that fuel and that fire for us. I don't think the opportunity has been open yet for us to upload it, but
I was going to ask if you've seen how to get it uploaded.
Yeah, not yet. And I did see in the Ultimate Thriver that Amy's got for all of us, she did post and say that she was going to go live sometime tonight with more details about kind of what's going to be coming up. Because from what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, she's going to be doing weekly giveaways, but there's going to be like daily habits or daily things that she wants us to be participating in. So as long as we do the daily things, which I'm assuming it will probably be tracking, exercising, whatever it is that she's going to throw out there for us, which is good. Because whenever I posted my beginning picture, I was like, oh,
girl, you hate mine. I'm sorry.
I love you. Oh, that's awesome. But like this weekend, I just looked at Ron. I'm like, how? Because again, I just hit that year anniversary from whenever I had my surgery, and I'm like 25 pounds heavier than I was whenever I had my surgery, which I don't want to be where I was a year ago. But at the same time, I'm like, how did this happen?
It cracked up on me.
Yes. So again, it has lit a fire under my booty, but I still ate my chips and salsa and had my margarita tonight.
We did.
Balance, right, Dawn?
I'll just have to walk a little bit more tomorrow.
I know. I did exercise a little bit today. I did walk. I got some steps in. So, and
I
We
went
got
to
Ron,
the Pilates Tuesday.
Today, I've been going to the gym with my daughter, so
good, good.
the gym's still open, so that's so far so good.
That's what we were talking about too. It was like, because I mean, I'm sure like you, like we have a monthly membership that's automatically taken out. So if they start locking that door, people are going to want, whether you go once a month or, whatever, people are going to want money back on that. So it's just crazy. Another thing, if you're planning to be at Thrivepalooza, you don't have to have your ticket just yet, but that Thrivepalooza cash also ends tonight. Y'all, I'm like $24 or $26.
Aw.
I know. I'm like going, dude, I'm going to find a customer and I'm going to give them a free box of shakes. All you got to do is order it. I'll give you, I mean, but again, $400, that's worth me giving them.
That's your plane ticket.
Right.
Plus some.
Right. Exactly. Well, not since it's been reduced.
Well, true.
I mean, we saved $157. I mean, we went in and looked at it. It was like $157 cheaper. So
Do you think they're going to cancel that?
I don't know if they are or not. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, how
That's
far
why I haven't bought my ticket.
Mhm.
See, but I fly for free, and my
Right.
brother lives there. So for me, I can do everything at the very last minute,
Yep.
and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean,
Right, yeah.
being able to have all of that opportunity, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? So,
Yeah.
it just watch, because and I don't know if it'll, again, we're all hoping, I don't know if it'll sell out again, but I know the VIP ticket sold out before, which
Yeah, I
know
saw
they're
that.
expensive. But yeah, just if it starts getting close, just be mindful of that. Watch that.
I will.
For me, I want to definitely share, because again, Haley and I were at the beach. We had like I said, we had the craziness here with the tornadoes. Haley and I went to the beach last week. We drove in on Friday. I hopped on a plane early Saturday morning to fly with Ron to Maryland, and we flew back today. And I have worked my business every single day, but I know that it's because of my routine. And I may not do it all in the morning. Majority of it I do go ahead and do it in the morning, because I know what happens in the morning is I put all that stuff into place, and then I start getting messages, and I may not respond back to them immediately, but I start getting messages back, or, no one ever calls anymore. It may be a text message, it may be a Facebook message, but and that's what helps me so much. So I just want to, I know we've talked about it before. I want to share what my routine is with you. And if you don't do devotion, don't get caught up in the fact that I do a morning devotion and a night devotion, but that's just kind of how my morning starts. I wake up, I take my capsules. A lot of times I'll actually do my motivation, like an audio on YouTube. I'll just listen to my motivation, because I got to get my head right. I just need to lay there and chill. I'm not going back to sleep after I take my capsules, but it's just it helps me align and focus my mindset. And then I'll do my morning devotion, and then I will journal. And I don't even know if I placed, I did. I had everything packed. So, and I do use this. And the reason why I do use this is because I'm not looking at a blank sheet of paper. How many of you, do y'all are y'all good with having a blank sheet of paper and just writing everything down?
I feel like I'd write the same thing.
Depends on what it is. And you said you feel like you write the same thing. Gotcha. Well, and sometimes it really is easy and good to just write the same thing, because again, like my I ams and my goals, which I have like my top 10, things like that, they are the same thing. But it's like I have like, I am healthy, I bounce back from challenges. I am resilient. I am unstoppable. You know, those are things that we need to fill our mind with, because I don't ever find myself going, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, that's not going to happen. I don't ever do or say those things, you know, to myself anymore. Hey, Mary Jo.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
But I also, like, this has, like, today I'm grateful for, and I actually write, it's got like 3 different things, but I actually write down 5 different things. And sometimes that's the same thing, you know, I mean, a lot of times it's being healthy. Tyron was there with me whenever I was not in a good spot, and it's still so new to me. I am just so grateful every day that I can wake up and get out of bed and do the stuff that I'm doing, you know. So but just, you know, just having something, and even if it is writing the same thing down, Dawn, having something that you are very mindful about and very purposeful about, and your I ams, you know, like on here I've got you know, I want to retire Ron. I've got the year on here. I want to pay for Haley's got straight A's since she's been in, you know, a freshman in high school. I want to be able to buy her a car like we promised her, you know. I don't want to have to finance that sucker. So I've got that on here. And I've got on here, I am so excited that I earned leadership in California. How many of y'all are working towards that? How freaking cool is that?
Yeah,
Every single one of us are eligible for that. Have you looked at that tracker? Have you been seeing that in your back office? So again, the routine, having a routine, your Facebook and your Instagram post. I do a Lavelle story. I try to do a live. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it, you know. And again, it does not have to be about Thrive. Your Facebook post, your Instagram post, your lives that you do. And you know, and sometimes I do it from what I have shared in my stories, just like this live that I did today was talking about rental workout gear. How crazy is that? Did you see
That is
it?
crazy.
I know. I was like, she said, the funny thing is some people do use it, but a lot of people don't. So it's like brand new stuff that just sits back there. So that would make me feel good if it's like brand new stuff. But I guess if it's got like a dry cleaning tag or something in it too. But wearing somebody, you know, like I know how Ron works out and he is like dripping with sweat. So to think about somebody's sweaty, nasty, saturated feet in those shoes.
Ew.
I know, right? Ew, that's exactly right.
I'd have to wash it like 10 times before I wore it.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, girl, this is a $5 rental and it's the Westin. It's a nice hotel, so you know. But and then the other thing that is my routine, and I'll show you my empty page because the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is awesome. I think the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is Mary Jo. It helps you hit all of those things. But I have to tell you that whenever I was doing the sheet, I was like, I just felt like I was just checking boxes, and it felt very salesy. I know I've talked to all of y'all about that before. Tyron and I are like, ugh. You know, it's just, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, then that's where we end up not doing the things that we need to do. So, and I think I've shown y'all this before. It's just like a notebook that I took, and like my like I've got the date written at the top. On the plane ride home, I did the rest of March. So I've got promoters, I've got customers, because again, that's our 4. The potentials, that's the relationships that we're building and the reach out. So that's my 5, that's my 4. And I've got my movement, my exercise on here. My Facebook, my Instagram post, that's my 3. I always want to share a Lavelle story. And I want to do a live, but you know, sometimes that doesn't get a check mark next to it. The names added, that's my 2. And the leadership, the devotion, or the development and the accountability, that doesn't have to be with a real life person. Okay. Like Grant Cardone, that's my motivation. That's my leadership sometimes. Maybe it's a podcast. Maybe it's Beth Graves that I'm listening to. So don't feel like you've got to talk to me or got to talk to Terry or you've got to talk to Jerry or whoever for that to be your leadership. And then I use the rest of the page as my to-do. So I've got, this is my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but it helped my brain not feel like I was just checking a list off.
Can
Did
you
have
take a
something?
picture of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, there's some days, look at that. That was whenever I was like really reaching out to a bunch of customers. Again, it was for the touch and base with them about the auto ship and things like that. Anytime that I talk to you guys, any of my potentials, anything like that. And I just do like a little check mark next to stuff. So this has been so helpful to me. So I'll definitely take a picture of it and I'll post that in our group.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And there's not a right or a wrong way to do things, because there's, that Susan Kaufman, that I try to hop on her Zooms on Monday mornings, which again helps me get running and, get my mindset for the week. And even if you just really hit your business hard on a Monday or on a Sunday, what it's going to do is it's going to feed into your week. So more things are going to grow from it, but you got to really dig in and really, 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 really touch it, because especially if you work full time, or you've got other things that are going on, you may not be able to do it as consistent, during the day, or be as flexible during the day. That's pretty much it though. I mean, it's just, things are just heavy right now. There's a lot of stuff that's just on, I think, people's hearts and people's minds. So being respectful of that, and sharing, there was a couple of things on here that I had, and being ready. That was the other thing too. And again, I know we talked about this before, because we talked about sharing your story, and when you share your story, how you do it. Just remember there's four top parts of that. The first one is like your background, who you were before Thrive, how you felt, all of that. Number 2 is what you didn't like about you before Thrive, how you felt, and this is just as a product user, not as a promoter. Number 3, how you found a solution. And then number 4 is how you feel about the future. So what were you feeling like before? Like for me, I didn't have energy. I was exhausted by the time I came home from work, and my family got what was left of me. With it, I got energy. I got more focused. I was, my hands from doing nails. I think about Tyron all the time. I'm like, my hands hurt, and I haven't done nails in years. I can't imagine what her hands feel like now, but my hands don't hurt like they used to since I've been doing Thrive. But your pain, your hurt, your lack of energy, whatever it is that you felt before Thrive, is going to be in that number 1 and number 2 when you're sharing your story. That's what's going to connect you to that individual. That's what's going to make, them go, wow, I wonder if it'll do that for me. So just be mindful of that, and know that your pain is the connector to your prospect. I think that's it. I've got lots of notes that I was just kind of strolling through, because again, you just got to keep doing the same thing. It looks a little bit different. It feels a little bit different. And the longer you've been doing it, you're going to have to switch things up. And that's what I have found. My systems has to switch up and kind of do things a little bit different, because I get bored with it, so, but if you're not doing it, how many of you have been doing reach outs and follow-ups consistently? Now, I love your honesty. This isn't like oh yeah, every day, it's like, not every day. So that's good. Tyron, Mary Jo, I want to hear from you then. Tyron, what are you finding? Because I know both of y'all what the answer is going to be. What are you finding though, Tyron, from doing your follow-ups and doing your reach outs more consistent?
Well, just more, they're responding more. I don't know if it's they're getting tired of hearing from me. And they're like, fine, I'm gonna finally answer her. Or, like I had a lady who I kept reaching out to, and she finally, I'm so glad you didn't forget about me. So it's just keeping them, I'm kind of in the back of their mind, but I keep pushing my way up to the front of the line, of their mind. So I just feel like that, keeping consistent, because if I don't keep in touch with them, then they're just going to forget about me, just like they probably thought I forgot about them. So and I kind of put the ones that I haven't reached out to in a while in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of, work my way back like that. But they're finally, they're responding. They're, and like with that, we're in our little group message, she was like, stay on me. So I'm like,
Yes.
hey, I'm on you.
Exactly. And they give you permission. And I love it. That what you said right there is when they use their words against them, you told me not to let you not do this. You asked me to make sure that I got you to stick with it. So and she was very receptive.
Oh yeah, she's like, thank you. That's what I need.
Yep.
And I'm gonna send her another message.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh yeah. And she was going to order on the 13th. Well, here it is, the 15th. So
Can
Mary
I ask
Jo?
a question? Can I ask
Yeah.
a question real quick?
Yeah.
So I have people who don't respond at all anymore. I mean, I can see they look at my stuff and they don't respond at all. Are those the people you keep contacting?
I do. Mm-hmm.
You do.
I just,
wait.
but yeah, and Lisa actually at one time, she's like, just check in on them. And, I have some, hey, I know things are crazy. I just want to check in and see how you're doing. I saw such and such was doing this, or, how was your vacation, or, stuff like that. Just to let them know I'm still watching you. And I know you read that message because I saw that little bubble.
and some people you can say that to, with I know you saw this. Right. Have I done, what I've used before, Dawn? I've said, if I've done something to offend you, because I know that you just read my message, but you haven't responded, I want to apologize. I'm so sorry if I did something, or, and a lot of times I'll go, oh my gosh, no, you didn't do anything to offend me. I was at work, blah, 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 or then there's still some people that won't even respond to that. So it's not you. That's the biggest thing that we have to remember to tell ourselves. It's sometimes people don't want to hurt your feelings. So they think by ignoring you, that's going to hurt your feelings less. Right. But again, we still take offense to that. So, and I love what Tyron just said, just go back to building that relationship again and just being their friend again. Or, if it's just someone that you have met on Facebook, start liking their vacation pictures. Oh my gosh, that looks so much fun. Where are you guys at? Even though you probably already read where they're at, just building it. Thank you, Tyron, for sharing. Mary Jo, what about you? What have you found?
I found that in my consistency, I may not get what I would like to get out of the day, but I feel accomplished. And that brings me into the next day and still doing, what I need to do. And so that feeling of accomplishment really just keeps me motivated. I have received a lot of new free accounts. Of course, my friend Kate is still here. She's not leaving Florida just yet because of everything that is going on. And she has been diligent in keeping track of the changes in her. And I've been able to speak with her and have a talk with her about her Thrive experience. And I even had one young gentleman say, well, is it free? That was his reply to me. And I said, it could be.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And so I said, would you like to hear about the business aspect? Because he's leaving the Army. He's, retiring from the Army.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
Yeah. So I, even though we didn't talk today, I still have him saying he wants to talk about the business aspect. Perfect. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing. Unless they say to me, please do not talk to me about Thrive again. I will keep messaging them. I'll keep watching their little, bubble pop up and know they read my message. Yeah. I will still do that. Right. There's, you just really, you can't take it personally, even though, you're like, why wouldn't you? Even Kate and I said today, why wouldn't anyone want to be doing this? Why wouldn't anyone want to be feeling this way? We don't get it. We're sitting there thriving, I'm cleaning this and, power washing that. I just stopped. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's probably 8:15.
It's time to Zoom, right? It's time to Zoom.
Yeah, it's time to Zoom.
Well,
So-
obviously, what Mary Jo just said is she builds her confidence, you know? And again, the more you do it and the more obviously thriving in your own life, you know, we forget how bad we felt before. And I know I was skeptical. So, you know, and I'll affirm to them, you should be skeptical. Everything you read now says you're going to do this or you're going to feel that way. Why would you believe this over, you know, all the other 100 products out there as well? Do your research. Would you like to experience a sample? You know, and that's whenever you can segue into that as well. You know, if they just want to try and see how simple it is and that the shake it and disgusting. Again, I took 7 samples with me, I think, whenever of those 2-day samples, 1 pack of capsules, 1 DFT and 1 shake for like just a 2-day kind of just a sample that they could split it. I got 4 free accounts and I gave out 4 samples while I was there. So, you know, and who knows, Haley was sharing tonight about, because it was like, it was actually 2 guys, which were the security guards, and 2 ladies that I was talking to at Target. And Haley's in the dressing room, you know, changing into 400 bathing suits, and I'm standing out there and 2 of the workers were talking about working out, you know, and I'm like, she was so funny because she could hear the conversation. She said, I was waiting to hear when you were going to go talk to them.
She knows her mama well.
Exactly. But now she'll like elbow me whenever somebody says something about, oh, I'm just so tired, I'm so ready to get off, you know. She's like, but you know, they were talking about going to the gym, and I just walked over. I was like, I love that you guys are holding each other accountable and encouraging each other to go to the gym. And they're like, oh yeah, we got it, you know, blah blah blah. And then I was like, well, I have to share something with you. I have to share what I do, you know. And I had my little, I said, have you ever heard of Thrive? And the one girl had been seeing it on Facebook, but the other girl had never. Look at that sweet baby bite.
Oh,
Isn't she something?
But the other girl had never even heard of it. So I got their names, I got their email addresses, I set them up with free accounts, I stalked them on Facebook, and I found one of the 2 of them. And you know, I mean, Haley was working out and running around the tennis court, you know, and stuff, and I'm like just doing laps while she's like practicing. And the security guard was like, whenever we were walking out, he was like, you are wearing me out. I've had a knee surgery on this knee, and he's a very heavy man. And, you know, he's talking about being former military and all of the aches and discomforts. And, you know, I was like, I'm bringing something back to you whenever we go out for dinner, you know. So who knows? It's not my job to decide for them, but it's my job to plant that seed. And Dawn, just keep them on that follow-up list. That's the most important part, is not wearing out the same 5, you know. That's where I like to keep notes. You know, you can do it in a notepad. We've talked about the spiral notebooks before. You can keep little notes next to that. However you keep up with it, just doing it, you know. And like Tyron said, you get to the end of your list and you go back to the top and you start working your way back down. So anything else that you guys have to share or have to ask or anything? We've got like less than a minute left. Nope.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for hopping on. Dawn, I will take a picture of this. And Mary Jo, at the very beginning, which you're already doing too, let's just be that light for others. You know, it's just, the world's scary. There's a lot of very fearful people right now, and we have to have faith, and we have to be strong, and we have to be confident in who we are and live boldly, but not cocky. And right. And loving on others, you know, and we were talking about just private messaging, and, you know, when someone comes on your heart, they're coming in your heart for a reason. So reach out to them and just love on them a little bit. And I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being on here.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye, Dawn.
Bye.